Are you buying Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein?
Sure.
It was like still giving like sexy though. Like I still thought
No.
it was hot. I was like, he's still fine.
Couldn't relate, but thanks for your concern.
Welcome back to Thanks for Your Concern. You're here with Ella.
And I'm Berenice. What's up, Ella? How are you this morning?
Oh girl, it's a rainy day in Seattle, but it's a beautiful day to be alive, per usual.
Rainy here too. What's up?
I saw Begonia last night. Have you heard of that
Mm,
one?
No. What is it?
So it's a sci-fi comedy with Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons. The director's like Yargos. He also did Poor Things and The Lobster, if you're familiar.
None of these.
No,
No.
I would say it was very good. I think it's gonna get a lot of Oscar nominations. I have not been watching movies lately. I've just been like literally like how depressing, but I had literally haven't been consuming that much media. I've been like I have to be able to like work while I do it. So it's like I'm watching something while I'm doing something else. So it was really nice to like sit down and like only focus on entertainment for 2 hours. Great movie, highly recommend.
Okay, I finally watched Frankenstein.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I honestly now like that it's on Netflix and a lot of people are like doing edits and they're like a masterpiece. I liked it. I didn't think it was that crazy, but like I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the outfits. Mia
Outfits are
Goth's
good.
outfits popped off, so I enjoyed that.
The music was good. It's getting into Oscar nom season, and now I feel like it's crazy because I know what they like. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was like, I know it's gonna probably win best makeup. I would say probably pretty good to contender for best makeup. It's probably gonna get a lot of nominations, even though I wasn't also like super wowed by
Yeah, yeah.
it. Yeah, it was good. Like it was excellent. Like no critiques per se, but like people are like, this is mind blowing, and I'm like, it's cinema, Are you buying Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein?
Sure. Listen, I get like the movie makes you sympathize with Frankenstein. He was pure. His makers are evil. If it's not the human condition to fear something you don't understand. So in that sense, like
It
yeah, he
was
was
like still giving like sexy though. Like I still thought
no.
it was hot. I was
Mm,
like, he's still fine.
couldn't relate, but I respect that. I value a different take. I could not get the hotness. Yeah, there's some bizarre explanations in that, but we'll take it for what it is, fiction. But no, I thought it was kooky. I thought it was cool. I really enjoyed the cinematography. Obviously, like it's a great movie. It's long. It's a long film.
Do you know the backstory? The
The
backstory
book?
of Frankenstein? Like that was written by Mary Shelley when she was like 12 years old.
Oh, I did not know that.
She like wrote it when she was really young, and it was very abnormal for a young girl to be a profound author. I put that in air quotes because it's like, why can't a girl be profound? You know what I'm saying? I've had some of the most profound thoughts that I shared on Tumblr when I was 12.
Honestly, I feel like that's the peak age for creativity and like a lot of ideas that I have now sparked from concepts that I thought about when I was a teenager. That's just like the age where you don't have a lot of like boundary like set bounds to your creativity and imagination. So, I feel like it's a good time to probably write some shit down.
A Southern grandma once told me, she was like, your wings haven't been clipped yet. I was like, what? And she's like, my wings have been clipped. I see y'all flying and y'all wings haven't been clipped yet. And I thought it was so depressing, but I was like, I think she has a point.
That is depressing. But it also just lets you it showcases a little bit of like you shouldn't clip wings. You know what I mean? Like if
Mm-hmm.
you can really like foster the essence of what children want to do and like take them serious for the stage that they are in their lives, like how powerful it could be to create a concept so famous as Frank.
Exactly. You have your pop up. Is your pop up gonna have already happened? Okay, so we don't need to announce the pop up. So
No.
we'll report back next week
Yeah.
on how it
Yeah.
went.
We will. But can you imagine like just I liked writing when I was younger. I just didn't think I was good at it. And sometimes I feel like had I just kept at it because I had good ideas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was into slam poetry, okay, as a young kid. And some of that shit, I was literally like, "What was I going through?" I actually know what I was going through and it was a little rough. But, like, literally, it's some of it, I was like, "I cannot believe that I thought life was this hard," you know? But it really was hard. Honestly, I'm very lucky. There's this scene in this, movie, it's called Hamlet too. It's like the line is like, "You're gonna live such a privileged life because everywhere is gonna be better than Tucson, Arizona." And it's like, dude, everything's been better than, like, before, so thank God, but I used to have some very dark themes.
Again, makes sense. That's when you encounter a new level of consciousness where you're not a kid anymore and like the bubble is just burst. Imagine the
Yeah.
level of like depth of emotions you feel when a lot of the things that you believed in when you were little, you just like maybe are not known to be true. It just loses the sparkle, okay? What a complicated time of your life. It should be dark.
I know, I'm a huge advocate because it's like I'm like, "Dude, we don't give enough love and respect to children. They don't have enough autonomy," you know? And that's
Yeah.
why I get real heated when I see, like, children on the internet doing shit, and I was like, "Bro, you're not even to give them a piece of this influencer money, and you're gonna force them to be props in your videos? Am I the only one that thinks this is fucking messed up? Like, at least give them a piece. Like, let them go to fucking get whatever they want."
Yeah.
How are you gonna say, "Oh, my kids aren't spoiled," but you're making money off of them? They should be spoiled then.
Right? They feed this family.
I know, come on, make it make sense.
It makes sense. I never got into poetry per se, but I did feel like I could have done some creative writing, some fiction writing. I feel like I had some good ideas, but I guess my wings were also clipped from that one. I had good concepts, but like absolutely no good like way to put sentences together.
Hey, man, you can circle back.
You can get good at anything. Honestly.
Oh
I
my
it's in
gosh.
my belief that you could get good at anything if you try hard enough.
Couldn't say it better myself. What's the latest thing you've tried to get better at?
It's been a little bit of social media and overall like time management. Those are my two themes per se of trying to get better at social media just with posting. That's just a true example of like practice makes you comfortable in front of a camera, makes you comfortable in front of a microphone. When I have to make some sort of announcement, I feel like I used to record it so many times and like
Mm.
edit it. And now it's just like we get it out in one take and we put it on the internet. I would say I've gotten better at that, but it has taken a while to get comfortable.
I think repetitiveness and just getting reps in is probably like the best advice is getting reps in. I think the thing I've been trying to get better at and honestly have made quite a bit of improvement is DJing, dude. I swear to God, like I mean I got this mixer a year ago, but I touched it maybe like 6 times. But in the past 3 months, I've been picking it up a lot more often. It's just like every time you get better, you're like, okay. And something I try to do is like thank God for YouTube,
Oh
but there's a
yeah.
YouTube course for everything, and so sometimes I'm just like, "Let me just find a YouTube video and random ass tutorial and figure out one new thing today." And I think that's what keeps me motivated is, like, learning something new and getting better at something. It's when you said social media, sometimes I'm like, "Okay, well, let me try this today," and, like, that's all I'm gonna try to do. If I'm, like, not interested in putting out a video, I'm like, "Okay, well, let me just try to, like, get better at overlays, get better at this, get better at that because it gives you like a different goal if you start getting bored or you're just not uninterested in the current.
I get that. There's sometimes you have like a good natural ability to be better at certain things or pick up certain things, but that's just initial. After that, you have to put in work, regardless of how naturally good at it may come across. I definitely see like a lot of process videos. I have a lot of hobbies. I have a lot of interests, so I've tried
Mhm.
a lot of stuff. And there's some things that stick that I was like, I'm gonna get good at this. I think enjoying something certainly helps getting better at it
Oh
because then
yeah.
like while you're doing it you're not like fuck this shit because you know you enjoy the process of getting better at it. I think having passion for something is like kind of key to get better at
I think you can I don't want to say
it.
fabricate passion, But I think if you have a good enough why, maybe it supersedes passion. Have you heard of the revenge procrastination? Where it's like you try not to go to sleep to try to like gain back more time within the day because you just feel like you've been robbed of free time. So you try to grab it at the end of the night. This is like a concept, okay? I used to be
Okay.
really bad at it. Like I would not want to go to sleep because I'm like, let me try to get some more like juice out of the day and that juice being free time. And so I would play video games until like 2, 3 a.m. just because it felt like my only me time. And I had to stop that and I had to like learn new habits. And I just had to sit down with like my why and my biggest why, even though I don't actually really I like being a night owl. I like kind of going on side quests after midnight, right? But my why is that I was kind of being miserable in the morning because I wasn't getting consistent. So it's like, do I have a passion for going to bed at 10 p.m.? Not necessarily, but I have a big why is that I want to be more healthy and happy throughout the day. So I need to go to bed early.
Yes. There's a lot of things that you can alter and change to become good at something because there are nuances with anything, even its energy. I think practice and the overall time that you give something comes from energies, whether that is, I want to be able to, and your brain, like you need sleep to be able to memorize, to be able to grow your muscles, to
Mhm.
be everything. I would say there was a time I was really into weightlifting, and a lot of it is like you have to eat right, you have to sleep enough. Like, there's other things other than just hitting the gym that you have to do to either get the results that you want, whether that is a certain body look, or for me it was like I want to get a higher PR. Like I was just
Yeah.
into lifting heavy things. I think looking at surrounding factors sometimes helps. Definitely a level of interest, finding some underlying motivation, whether that is looking at the bigger picture, if that's what keeps you going, is getting up every day and be like, this is what I'm aiming for. So all these like little shit that I hate fucking doing, I'm gonna do it. Sometimes for me, I would say that's my driving motivation is the bigger goal ra-
Mhm.
rather than the little goals.
I agree with you, and, like, something I do is, like, I don't even wanna say it's like cosplaying or committing to the bit, is that, like, if you cosplay a bodybuilder and you're like, "No, no, no, I'm a bodybuilder," because, like, I swear, like, if you are basically, like, if you skip the becoming part and just say that you are that thing, for whatever reason, it helps me. So if it's like, I am a content creator, it's not like I'm becoming a content creator. I'm like, no, 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 I am a content creator. So like, this is what content creation does. And it's like, I am a bodybuilder. It seems like such an extreme example, but it's like, it just works for me. So I do go to the gym every single fucking day and I try to PR every single day and I'm max loading every single day because I'm a bodybuilder. For
Yeah.
whatever reason, when you like, jump to the final form and say like how does this version of me act and create habits and get better every single day, it's like a cheat code.
To get better at something, or to be something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to make it your whole thing, I don't think you necessarily have to, like, you can enjoy things and want to get better at them without like fully committing your whole life's work and passion. I do know people that like learn how to do certain things just from the fun of learning, and I feel like I'm kind of like that. Sometimes it's just fun to learn something new, and not to just be like, "Oh yeah, I kind of know how to do that," but be like, "Oh, I know how to do
My example probably where it's just a little bit is like just doing a little bit every single day is like I feel like Duolingo is such a good example of it. It's just like 10 minutes a day, but it just every single day just kind of gets you in the habit of learning something new and little bite-sized pieces. And how I do Duolingo is like just like habit stacking with another thing. So it's like, okay, I make my nighttime tea, I do Duolingo, and then like I get ready for bed.
We love that. A good routine.
Mhm.
To really set the mood right. I'm a huge learn by trial and error person. I've always wanted to know why. Why something doesn't
Mhm.
work. Even when I was starting to learn how to use the decks and stuff like that, I had people who like come from a background of music and be like, "Well, you do this," and I was like, "But why?" Like I understand that there's like musical concepts, but then I'm like, but then there's dubstep, which doesn't really, like, it does, you can follow a melody and stuff like that, but it does, but you just insert rah, 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 you know in places where it feels right. So I think in those ways. I've always wanted to do it to see why it doesn't work. So then later I know, okay, it doesn't work because of this, not just because somebody told me it doesn't work. So I'm
Yeah.
big on that. I would rather tough it out and do some things wrong a few times. And really, I feel like that's the best way to not do it, continuously do it wrong, or to make mistakes in the future, is to do it wrong a few times, and then it really sticks by the third time. You're like, I'm not going to do that because I've already like conditioned my brain to know that, like, if I do this, it creates this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even look up, like, with a lot of the clothes that I make, there is some prototypes that have not made it out of this house because I just tried it and it didn't work. You're like, well, now I know, like, this material doesn't like to do that. And I don't look up a lot of like how to make something videos. I very much so like to experiment alone.
There's something about life where you, like, read an article about, like, why you shouldn't do something, and then you go ahead and do it anyways, and then you learn, "Oh, that's why they said that." But, like, I'm actually happy I still had this experience. I've had that a few times where it's like, I did the do not thing, I figured out on my own the consequences, and then it provided more value than me never trying to experiment that way.
100%. 100%. Oh my God. Yeah. Along with trial and error. Some things that I have tried and have really not gotten super better at. I think it was gymnastics. That one was one that I practiced but never got like excellent at, but it was fun. Sometimes you are committing to the bit just for the journey. You learn other life skills in that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like gymnastics gave me a place to be a leader because was so committed to the bit that I was the person that was most at the gym just because I was having
Mhm.
a good time. And they're like, Captain. And I'm like, okay, cool. And that was my first opportunity to be a team captain because I wasn't like super passionate about sports. And I really enjoyed being captain for that team. Like, it taught me about my leadership skills over getting good at gymnastics. I got better at being a leader.
You talked about gymnastics, and the thing I think about is just like not everything you have to be great at to enjoy. And honestly, you're not going to excel in everything. I know that rare thing for me, right? Because I excel in everything. No, just joking. But like, I was so committed to volleyball. You guys have no fucking like. I honestly haven't committed to something as much as I committed to volleyball. I was reps in the gym. I was going to every fucking volleyball camp. Like, bitch, I was live, die, breathe volleyball. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but most volleyball players are above 5 feet tall. So I had a little bit of a disadvantage just in the game. That's a tall net. I literally can't block
There's one
volleyballs.
position you can play if you're
One
short.
mhm, libero, and I was decent at libero, but there could only be one libero, or like maybe no, there's not even two. There's one libero per team. I I actually didn't think I was gonna get cut because, like, I was so diehard, like, so much. And I remember the day they made cuts, the volleyball coach was like, "You know what? I wanna get tell everybody that, like, just because it's a no for volleyball, this might open up other doors for something you're gonna be better at. Like, take this as a no for volleyball, but a yes for something else." And they basically told me like, "Hey, you guys, you could come back on JVC if you wanted to," but I was like, "I will not demoralize myself like that." And so then I went to do cross country. Bing bang boom, you know? Try as hard as you
Listen,
can, but listen to the universe and wait for another new opportunity.
sports is the only thing that will spit you out if you're not good at it, okay? Like, there's no other, even theater. Like, there were some people
Mhm.
in musicals and theater that could not sing for fucking shit, but they were like so committed to the theater community that they were giving those roles. Okay, so me coming from a sports background, it didn't make sense. um so, it just depends how much time you're willing to put into something and when you find your true jive. I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of people, yeah, I feel like a lot of people are scared to try new things because they're bad at them. I think that it's so cool to see a learning curve, okay? None of us are like magically good at everything. Everybody has a humbling period of their time where they like something, and the beginning It may not look so good. It may not sound so good, but at least you're like willing to try it out.
I think once you get enough like skills that you've really like just put in the effort despite being bad at it, you have this like world of possibility where you can realize you can do anything. Because like I'm telling you, once you've tried 3 times learning something new and doing it, you can do anything. Like have you heard of like polyglots of like people who speak more than like 5 languages or something? It's
Hmm.
because it's like once you get over the hump of learning how to learn a new language, you can learn any language. So it's kinda like once you just have skills built up of starting from 0, I would say 0 resources, right? Like, not having, like, money to pay into something and figuring it out anyways. You've learned that you can learn new things and, like, babes, at this point, I think specifically, like, with Adobe, I started with Adobe InDesign, and now I'm in Adobe After Effects, which has been actually really fun. So, like, babes, I can learn anything.
And sometimes alone is not as fun. I think it's important to find a community of people that are like minded or have a similar goal. Just because sometimes it's just nice to have a buddy, someone that like
Mhm.
keeps you accountable, somebody that you can like practice whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I think it's like undervalued how many people are actually down to just like start something new or keep a practice. I know that when I left college for the first couple of years, I wasn't necessarily doing any sewing. I was just like in the workforce. And I had friends in kind of like similar things where they were like, I really haven't picked up a sewing machine. And we had got this degree surrounding this. And I was like, why don't we make little like challenges every week where we make something and we all choose a theme and a topic and we make, because all of us wanted to post on social media, all of us wanted to make things. And I was down to form a little group where we kept each other accountable and motivated to do what we wanted to do. So I think that there's never a bad time to like pitch that to people. I've gotten a lot of initial interest and no follow through with people, like, but some people have kept on with that. Even with like the whip, when people saw me do it and then they wanted to build community and get better at it, I started to do like a lot of meetups where I was like, you can just come and I'll teach you how to do these things that I figured out myself.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem.
And with the internet, make a fucking virtual friend. That's actually something very beautiful in life is that there's just like no truly unique experience. Like there's so many people who are in the same part of a process as you are that are willing to help you out, encourage you, just to have someone to like rant with or ask questions to. It's just a beautiful thing.
Definitely putting yourself out there can be hard, but at least I know that I'm the type of person that replies to random DMs, whether it's a sewing question from a stranger or whatever. I tend to respond. If you're thinking of a new skill and you're like shy about building community or like finding somebody to help, just keep shooting your shot. Somebody will reply. There, like there's people that are like kind of weird and I gatekeepy about some stuff. Unless it's something very niche to what I'm doing or working on, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna help you.
Answered so many, like, equipment questions to people, and it's like, I literally have, "Oh, yeah, let me just type" I have it's gonna take me a minute to tell you everything that I spent money on, fucked up on, didn't shoulda done thought of this, yada, 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 it's really easy, so people are a lot nicer than you would and some people wanna be mentors. I think finding a mentor can be beneficial, just and mentor, that seems like such a word, but it's just like, dude, someone who's a little further ahead. I think it's best to find someone who's a little further ahead, not like the me going to Skrillex is probably not like the best. Like, I
Help,
don't think, yeah, don't think that
Mr.
man's like,
Skrillex, help!
yeah, I think that's what people think of as mentor is like the final form of what you want to do. But if you have someone who's just like 6 months ahead of you or a year ahead of you, that could be equally as beneficial.
And not everybody's the right mentor. Okay,
Oh yeah.
some people just do things very differently from me. Like I have really learned that. Sometimes I try to learn from some people, and I'm like, our brains are just do not pick up things the same way whatsoever. But thank you for being willing. You're not the one for me.
Love.
With love.
Hearts.
No, I had that with my boyfriend where he was trying to teach me how to mix, and I was just like, I feel like you have limited mentality when it comes to working around. Some people need like fundamental skills before like jumping into something and exploring other things. And I'm like, let's just and then we build these fundamental skills based on the playing around. I think those are two very different ways of learning. Yeah.
But I let my boyfriend actually spin for the first time, like, a week ago or something, and literally, I was like, "I'm gonna have to leave the room." He's like, "Where's Fred again buttons? I wanna do the Fred again buttons." I was like, "No, bro, like, this is not Fred again buttons." I was like, "It kinda is, but it's not really, like, I." But he's like, "Well."
This is Fred again level 1. Fred again
Yeah.
is at level like 25, okay? Let's relax.
But he was having so much fun just pushing buttons, and I was like, you know what? Honestly, I should probably explore more because I've been like really focused on mixing things to make it sound instead of like, what are all these buttons? Like, there's 10,000 buttons. If someone reaches out to you, you should be encouraged to mentor them because you learn new things too. It's equally beneficial to teach and mentor as it is to be mentored.
Yeah. Hi, Green.
Okay, baby. So I would say, all in all, if you're bad at something, everyone has to start out at being bad at something. So that's like my final thought is that like don't be afraid to be bad at something. Don't be afraid to be a beginner because everyone who is something has started there. I always think of like Moonrise Kingdom director.
That's a cute movie.
So Wes Anderson's first short that he ever directed was Bottle Rocket in the 1996. Okay, he literally just shoestring shit together, got people he knew into this movie. People he knew happened to be the Wilson brothers, but like that's beside the point.
Right.
This short film, he just started with what he had, and if you saw it, you could see like some of the underlying stylistic choices that you see in Moonrise Kingdom, but like you don't watch the movie and think it's of the same caliber, of the same quality. They're just completely different. But
Right.
he had to start somewhere, you know? And so I think we see people when we see Moonrise Kingdom, we see these later films in the final evolution of something and think, I can never do that. It's like, well, yeah, because you haven't been doing it for 25 years, right? You shouldn't
Yeah.
be comparing yourself to someone who's been putting 25 years of skill and effort into something. They had to start off with not knowing shit. Like, they didn't come out of their mom's pussy fucking knowing how to direct a film, right? Like
Camera in hand, ready to
yeah,
go.
like it doesn't happen. It's just like it's just all of this work over years. And so like don't give up too soon and don't compare yourself to greatest greats of that art form. It's really discouraging.
Period. Everything is practice, surely. I think how much like love and time you're able to into something, even if it's not a way to make money or, whatever it is. Like, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the experience. I think it's worth the people that you may meet who are passionate about similar things. I think it helps build community. It gives you so many things to just like want to build a skill. I also think it's super attractive. You've ever met
Mhm.
somebody that has no goals or like anything productive going on? I'm like, this is not for me. I love me a go getter. Like, sometimes I'll see people be like, oh, I'm just like trying to learn how to play guitar. I'm like, that is really fucking hot.
Hot because it's just more interesting, right? We only have this one life. Make it fun. Do something a little
Yeah,
different, baby. Push
exactly.
yourself.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for listening. As always, you can find us on social media at thanks number 4 your concern on Instagram and TikTok. And then I'm at Bernice Diaz M.
I'm at Ella L Tutor. Rate, send this to a friend, and come back next week. We love having you guys. See ya. Bye.